Hey, this is Swaggers doing some Battle Chasers Nightwar content. What we're going to do here is we're going to kind of take a general overview look at the Path of Fangs on Legendary, so you can kind of get a preview of what you can expect on the 3rd when it releases. I'm not going to go through every single battle, but I'm going to kind of point out a couple of the more interesting things. So you can reset the dungeon whenever you want. You can leave, even on Legendary, and come back. The only change to Legendary, one, it is harder, higher levels, but if you die, it will automatically reset the dungeon. So the Path of Fangs dungeon you have to do as part of the story, and one of 8 different dungeons in the game, the second one. And this one has a story to it. You're trying to get through, and you're going to come down here, and he's this Lysolot. I don't know. I don't know the names of everything yet. So first you're going to see this game is gorgeous. I would say on these scenes here, you got about a 50-50 chance of having to read it versus it being read out to you. Skin bag, because you have skin. He has fur. He's better. Okay, so he's opening the gates. How this one works is there are 2 sets of bannermen for different tribes, one north and one south of here. And we're going to go to the one to the south first. It seems that there are general kind of rooms that you can get. They're generated randomly. But it seems like there are certain rooms that are always going to be there. One of the rooms is always going to be here that we're not actually going to see in this run through is the monster Questvala. There's quite a few interesting little monsters and things that have specific ways to bring them out. So again, I'm not going to show the basic battles. I'll just show some of the cooler ones. We have to fight 2 mini bosses, which are 2 groups of the werewolf people, whatever they are. Those guys. Lycolopes, Lickalopus. Now there's something where lighting the torches in here. There's some blue ones that I think is an overall secret, but I haven't figured that one out yet. This is kind of just a general overview to kind of show you the game. Show you how gorgeous it is, and just kind of walk through some of the stuff. So like, you see that one cost me a flint, just normally lighting. So I think there's something to try to get all of the blue ones lit, and then something will happen. So anyway, I'm going to come back with a more detailed video on the Path of Fangs, because one of the really cool things in here is that there are little stories that you can do, and how you do them affects the game. So you'll get choices. One of the cooler ones that I saw that I didn't get this run, but I got in a previous run, was there was one of the wolf guys was just kind of hanging out, and he's like, "Let me tell you a story." And you get a story in an RPG, and half the time you're just gonna go click 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 as fast as you can. You know what I'm saying? Well, at the end of the story, he starts asking some questions, and how many of those questions you get right is going to determine what happens, what kind of loot you can get from it. So it's real interesting. So that's a crafting station. I haven't really bought a lot of recipes yet, so everything I have is better than anything I could build. And they don't just automatically get entered in the city. You go and you buy the books. So moving on. And one thing they don't really tell you about in the game, if you click the right stick, that brings up the map. I thought you only got told. So here's another blue one. And it says it shines with an eerie glow. That's gotta mean something. You also see in these exploration missions, in the bottom right, I have two abilities, X and Y, or sorry, X and right trigger. Like right there, I used her right trigger ability to give myself extra shields. This is the fishing mini game. You do have to buy better rods and lures. Okay, so here's one of them. Right here, you find a guy, and he's wounded. This is not the one I'm talking about. He says he doesn't want to keep going, and they're trying to find him. Now, what do you want to do? You can help him, or you can kill him. So here, I killed him. You stab him, and you get a purple, which is not legendary, not the biggest rarity. One of the higher end rarities, second highest rarity, and we'll see what this one does. But it goes in the neck, and it's a bloody wolf amulet. It even says taken from the body of a Lysolot. We'll say Lysolot, and it's pretty nice. But if you help him, I've done it the other way, and if you help him, he gives you a map, and when you go back into the overworld, you can go find a whole treasure chest, which has different things. So it's real interesting. There's a lot of options, a lot of different things you can do. A lot of little stories like that. So far, just in this alone, we can bring out the unique monster, the spider, which we won't do here, but I do have another video up for that. We can help or kill that Lysolot. We can... okay, so here's one of the first main battles. This is one of the Bannerman battles. And we're not even to the end of the map. So I didn't show that one. We're going to do two of those and then a main boss battle at the end. But we've defeated the Shadow tribe. And there's all kinds of little stories and stuff. When you get all of the stories, you get a bonus. I'm sure there's probably going to be an achievement for that too. Achievements pop while I'm playing this pre-release, but they don't have the list up, so I can't see everything that's available. But here is one of the trickier enemies right here. Yeah, the old mimic. So I'll show this battle, because this guy actually does a lot of damage. Do you see in the bottom right, it says what he is. He's a treasure elemental. And then it does not tell me what his hit points are. In the game, the more you kill something, the more you learn about it. So as I kill more and more treasure elementals, I'll learn how many hit points they have. I'll learn what their abilities are. You'll learn kind of what their loot table is, if they have anything interesting. So you can see everything happens on like a timer. It's turn-based, but it's based on your haste. This is one of his bursts, which is one of someone's super ability. Yep, so 2 hits, poison. So how combat works is you have your general hits, you deal damage, and then you get what is overcharge. Overcharge is bonus mana. So if you use that, it doesn't count towards your mana pool, because mana and health don't automatically come back. In this game, you have to, rest, cost money, or use an ability or something, or a potion to get mana. Oh, graphics are just so beautiful. So we got 10 overcharge. We did some damage. We got 10 overcharge. And if we wanted to use an ability. So right now I'm using one of his bursts, which is a stab, single hit, but then it causes bleeding. Blood bleeding is, what you think it would be. He's going to be hurt over time. Boom, and he bled to death. I'm also really close to leveling up. A lot of this game is based on crafting, so you're going to get tons and tons of stuff. And then I'm not going to show you... okay, what that was I used his X ability, which he has 6 charges of healing. And we're going to do a quick run around. Because we killed the Bannerman, so we decided not to continue on. That's another room. We decided to just go to the other half so that we could finish the mission. So we're going to run our way back to the center pod here, And I picked up some stuff, so we're gonna armor hopefully increase. So these are quick travel, and again, it's kind of random. You can see on the right side I didn't get a single quick travel. If you find the map, which again is random, it's in there, but it's random where it could be the first room, could be the last room. If you find the map, then you'll automatically be shown where everything is. Just loot that plant. Fighting spider. Got a couple life slots, and here's a map. You can tell you've killed everyone when these activate. If they activate, you've killed everyone. Can't fish, and you can't teleport if there's anyone left on the map. You see that? That's a trap. Stalactites falling. That's just a these are just normal ones. So that you have to have flint to do that, but it doesn't cost anything. I think this is going to have something to do with lighting all those, because there's nothing in here. It is possible that there just isn't anything in there. Again, it's all randomly generated. So when you see links above the enemy's heads, and I actually ran from that trap into the spike trap. When you see links above their heads, that means those enemies are going to attack you together. Now that's a little monitor. Okay, so this is a trap too. One of Garrison's abilities is a speed run, so we'll switch to him. And then we'll just dash out of here, just be safe. But if you catch that little robot guy, that's an automatic, I want to say 2 or 3 coins from the shadow guy. So you always want to make sure you grab that. Cracked Surveyor Stone. It's a surveyor. Okay, let's kill some spiders. See if any of this stuff is worth. There's a lot of give and take in this game with what stats you want to be working on. It's always nice when something's just automatically better. Only pluses. Whoa, more stalagmites or tights. Just looting everything. Okay, nothing apparently down there. Go up here for what is hopefully a treasure chest and not another treasure mimic. And continuing on, I think the next room will be the Bannerman. So you don't have to look at that lore. There's a separate lore catalog, and it'll tell you which ones you're missing. Obviously, they don't show up until you've gotten at least one piece of it. Common parts are very common, I will say that. I have hundreds and hundreds of them already. Locked. Looks like wood. I think we could bust that down. That's one of the cool things with this, though. I mean, there's keys. Previously there was already a well. You had to find the well handle so that you could get something back. And so we killed them, and we got the Lysolot Brute key. So that's the key to that door. There's an interesting secret in this room that I'll talk about in a little bit. Another one of the many cool things that they do. So like you can see, guy's still alive, so the teleport is not active. Yep, can't use while enemies are nearby. Okay, so we'll use the elevator. And there is the map, so that'll tell us what's going on. And we don't want to quite leave just yet, got a lot to do still. Boom, more notes. I've already seen all these through the many times I've gone through. I do wish there's a handle. You can barely see, but there's a handle there. I do wish that they would differentiate the glow of treasure and notes, because when you redo these dungeons, you know, second, third, whatever number of times you want to do them, you don't get new notes. It's the same notes unless you miss something. Okay, so here's a cool secret. You can see the elevator there. And it looks like it goes up and it goes down. So we have to ride it down. And then we'll do everything down here. More notes we've already seen. Okay, gotta fight some people. I think this is... You can see I used another one of the abilities. No, that's not the Bannerman. Down here. So we're not going to take that elevator back up. We're going to go back up and around. And then you can see there's another elevator there now. But if you look down below, the elevator down below is there too. So there was two elevators, and they move in sync. So we had to bring it all down to be able to go back up. So now we go back up, and we get to the secret area with a legendary chest. So there's just so much little cool stuff. There's a lot of really cool stuff for this kind of an RPG. I don't know if deep crystals are good, but we did get a new weapon for Calibrato, which is nice. So we'll switch to the diplomacy. And then we just got to move on to the next room. Probably the last Bannerman we need, and then we can go finish this baby. Point out in the comments if now I didn't do 2 rooms because I wanted to keep it shorter, even though it's still 30 minutes long. But when you look at the map, see it shows exclamation points, and those are things that you need to do. And so you can see the star in the next room, so that shows yes, the Frostclaw Bannermen are in the next room. But all those exclamation points are supposed to be dungeon events, and I don't know what that all means. I don't know if it's stuff I've already done, but I would assume if there's a mark on the map, I still need to do it. Well, that's the way we came from. And there's no need. You don't have to kill everyone. You don't have to do everything. You know, I could have just gone right out of this area and gone right to the next section and finished this map. You're not being I mean, obviously I have to kill the main people that I'm supposed to kill, but you're not being forced to do everything before you move on. Okay, so they're the Bannermen. I think we actually watched this map, this fight. So the scroll in there means that there are notes. No, we don't watch that fight. That was kind of... Oh, no, they're up there. That was just kind of the guards. Battle. So the invisible guys you can't attack. 100-point crit. Wow. Wipe him out. So you can see it costs mana. It costs a lot of mana to do abilities. So you really want to build up that overcharge first. I wanted to just do a little bit of damage on him to finish him off and move on to the next one. So you can see these guys are kind of a joke. It would have been nice if, you know, you had your normal and you had your heroic and maybe even legendary, and then maybe if there was a difficulty that just always kind of matched what level your characters were, that would be cool. Punch in the face. And there you go. The gate should be open now. More messages. $8 and some common parts. More flint. You get a lot of flint. Yeah, so you see the notes are gone. We got all the notes, but they weren't anything we needed anyway. So again, it'd be nice for them to say something's unique. Again, I decide I don't really need... There's fishing and a weaponsmith and chest in here, so I didn't really feel that was something I needed to do. So, okay, I just warped. I'm going to warp back. You don't need to watch me run all the way back to the main gate. So I'm just showing, I'm like, I want to make sure that one of the wording on that, dungeon event location. So I don't know what a dungeon event qualifies as. So I spent a little bit of time running around trying to see if I could find other things that need to be lit, but you know, I couldn't find anything. Okay, so we're gonna come back here and our buddy is gonna hold up his end of the deal, hopefully. We don't really have any evidence, so how does he really know that we did it? Just word has already traveled. Maybe he's on a call circle. Lots of treasure on the way out of Dodge. So there are some things, especially things, and then right before your boss, there's always a full restore. So you know, you're not quite ready to stop yet. Okay, so big doors mean boss battle time. I tried to activate one of my abilities before this battle, but there's actually just a tiny little cutscene about him bragging about how, you know, no one's going to get away with that kind of shenanigans. And well, I didn't really interfere. I had to just get through the building. If you just would open the door. So we'll do this battle. Final battle on Legendary. They do take some time to load. Battle loading is not fast. Loading overall in this game is not fast, but it looks gorgeous. So he's going to call a couple shadow dudes, so we're going to have to go for him right away. And then you'll see he's got a significant stack of health. So I was going to try Wildfire just to see if it can hit people who are invisible, you know, if it's because it's Wildfire, just swinging at the hips, right? But they both come up before he gets that attack off. So I'm going to try to use some of their abilities and stuff just to show you that. So I like to go with Sting on people with a lot of health because then it just stacks that bleeding effect. And 35 damage every turn. Not something to sneeze at. So we're going to go with his Burst 2 because we're going to try to eliminate the outer guys, but what's also nice is it puts an Ignite on them. So again, he's going to bleed and take fire damage every turn. So one of the stalkers is instantly knocked out, and then we can just do a jab for the other one. And we're down to just the chieftain. I mean, this guy apparently, like, so he's got, look at that, 35 bleeding and 12 health. But now he's doing his burst, which is to bring 2 of his teammates back. But then really all he does is just kill them to suck up their energy, so he's back to full health. So we're pretty much starting this over, but at least we don't have any of these side people around. We're gonna do Gaia's Fist too, and he's still burned, which is nice, a little bit of damage. Oh, she's taking some major damage for... Boom! So he's got 45 overcharge, and this does extra damage for each overcharge. Still burned. He's down to 1 ignite. And she needs a little help. Gaia's Touch is a really nice ability. Doesn't have anything too crazy. But the curse does mean that he is healing for every hit he does, but it's less than what we're doing, obviously. So we got 16. So then we'll hit him for 45. And then he'll get 16 back. This is probably one of my favorite bursts so far. It's a huge bleed. One, it's a significant amount of damage to begin with at 128, and then it's a real big bleed. So he's down to 2, so he's pretty much going to die on his own. We'll get the last hit in here. Boom! Goodbye. So a good chunk of EXP. We will get another artifact for killing him, the resonating bone chip. Don't know how much, can't say how many coins that's worth. Also, a fairly significant weapon there. Not going to do anything for us, but then the other thing is that we will get the legendary treasure cache. And there's our buddy who helped us out. Fortunately, he did not survive. And then there's a bunch more chests before we leave, and then you just walk out the back. After that, I will show you opening it so you can see what happens. It's just in your inventory. You can save them up if you want. Otherwise, you just use them, and it's gonna pop. It pops a bunch of nice stuff. Nothing really too big for me right now. It all seems to always be pretty close to your level. So I'm never like, oh, I can't wait to use that, because it's usually, I'm using stuff like 3 levels behind me anyway. So I don't know if they really expect the crafting to be more significant. I haven't really had too much of a chance to get into the crafting yet. But again, I'm going to come back here with another video for the path and just show you those specific things, the specific hidden things I've seen, like that elevator trick, like the monsters that are exclusive to here, some of the conversations you can have, and that should be interesting. I'm really enjoying the game so far. I'm about 10 hours into it. So let's see what we got in our legendary treasure cache. Oil of Pain, a bunch of junk, Hillman's jacket. So I believe if you get legendary, you get legendary stuff in it. And then we still have to go back to the Shadow Guy and sell that stuff. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. We're going to have a lot of content for Battle Chasers.